Earth Angels. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if it's your first time here. Hello, my name is Jennifer. It's an honor to have you all here today. Thank you for joining me for this pick a card reading for the new moon in Scorpio. This is a timeless reading, so if you are landing on this at a different time than the new moon in Scorpio, then that is totally fine. As long as the messages resonate with you, then this is for you. So thank you again for being here. I'm excited to get into today's reading in honor of the new moon in Scorpio. The theme of today's reading is, what hidden fears are you ready to release? We have 3 piles here, as you can see, that you can choose from. We are going to we're going to choose some oracle cards and look at what fears you are currently ready to release that are operating in your life right now, that you're ready to let go of, and releasing these fears will help you move forward. So we're going to choose some oracle cards that talk to us about what those fears are, and then I'm going to draw some tarot cards and shuffle and draw and get more information, more detailed information around those fears. And then we're going to draw some more oracle cards and receive some advice for how to best release those fears and work with those fears as we're moving forward on our path. So that is the essence of today's reading. And we have 3 piles here. The first pile is the rose quartz, or is marked by the rose quartz. Sorry, I'm holding that wrong. Pile 2 is marked by the serpentine stone. And pile 3 is marked by the aqua aura quartz. So whichever pile you are feeling most drawn to probably has the strongest messages for you. It is totally natural and normal to feel called to more than one pile. So if that is happening for you, that's okay, especially in a reading like this where we're talking about hidden fears. You might even feel drawn to all 3 piles, and that's totally fine too. There are no rules. It's about what resonates with you and what feels good to you and what intuitively feels right to you. So feel free to choose whatever works for you. And if you're wondering, you want some advice on how to choose a pile, I actually love doing this myself when I'm watching pick-a-card readings. So it's just fun to exercise your intuition and see, because sometimes I'm very surprised at what pile draws me in. Because I might be like, oh, that's my favorite crystal, but yet I'm drawn to a different one. So I would recommend closing your eyes and taking a deep breath in. And with the exhale, allow yourself to release any tension and drop into the center. And as you open your eyes, open them with a soft gaze, just gently noticing which pile you are most drawn to. And you can do this a few times if you need to. You can pause the video if you need more time. Feel free to do that. And again, if there's more than one pile you're drawn to, that's totally okay too. So take your time, and I will see you in your reading. Hello, pile 1. Welcome to your reading. You have chosen the rose quartz. So we'll just put it over here with these guys, actually. So we are looking into what are your hidden fears that are ready to be released. So the first card we have from the Angels and Ancestors deck by Kyle Gray is the Mirror Guardian. Take time to reflect. And then we have the Heart Guardian. Love and let yourself be loved. From the Shaman's Oracle deck, we have the Wailing Tree, Reconciliations. And from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck, we have TikTok. So what I'm seeing and feeling here, right away I'm feeling this soft heart chakra energy open up. It feels like the calm after the storm almost, like yeah, like after a really cathartic cry, that kind of feeling. That's the energy that's kind of opening up into this reading. So what hidden fears are you ready to release? And so it looks like letting yourself love and be loved more is a deep fear that is ready to be released. I'm sensing this is a core wound for you that, you know, has multiple layers for you to work through in this life, very karmic and deep. So you've worked through a lot of it, I'm sensing, and there's also this deep fear to reflect on this, to look in the mirror and see. You're very afraid to look and to see what else stands in the way of opening your heart more. This Wailing Tree, Reconciliations. There's a fear of, I think, both forgiving and reconciling with others on some level, maybe for some of you, but what I'm feeling even more so is that there's this reconciliation that needs to happen within yourself, within your own heart. And I think that's going to happen through the reflection, through taking the time out to journal or meditate or do what it is that you do that creates this ability to see yourself, and to really let your heart open and let yourself love whatever it is that you see. And I think that's part of the reconciliation, is that there's this deep fear that what you're going to see is going to make you feel, you know, is going to basically confirm your unworthiness. And this is something I'm hearing that you need to reconcile deep within you, that this belief that you don't deserve love, or that there's always going to be pain, that, you know, associated with, like, there's more pain associated with love than joy. And these kind of things are stories that need to be reconciled within you. And even though in this card, that is the sun. It's interesting because to me there's a dual message happening in this card, where you can see the sun lighting up behind the tree for the reconciliation energy, the energy of bringing light to something that had been broken or dark. But I also, because it's so bright and something about the way it's coming up into that tree, it also reminds me of flames and burning. And so I think you're afraid that everything's going to burn down, that everything is, that you're going to, you know, sometimes there's that feeling of like, if I open any more, I might die, you know, or if I look at that part of myself, it might destroy me. But Spirit is saying, no, that it will reconcile you. It will bring you back into a place of heart connection. And you can call on the heart guardian, the cosmic guardian of love for this. I'm hearing, I'd never heard that before, but okay, interesting. Or whoever represents that for you. And so then TikTok. This card is about a few different things, and it's about, but I'm hearing mostly that it's about this fear that time is running out, that it's too late for this love in your life, or it's too late. So it's either, like I'm hearing, it's too late for this love, you know, like a literal love. Like, oh, it's too late. I'm either, you know, either the time has passed, it's too late, the chance has been missed, or I'm too old, or it's just too late, or it's just plain too late. You know, the timing, the divine timing isn't there. The fear, actually, because this is hidden fears, it's really about the fear that the divine timing isn't here. It's not, divine timing is always here. And so, and it is never too late. And this is another part of what has to be reconciled, and what really needs to be reflected on and looked on, or looked upon. And this will help for you to love and let yourself be loved. Because love is waiting for you. But first you have to reconcile this within yourself. And you might already have a lot of love in your life, and that's great. And I can feel that a lot of you do. This isn't about that, because this is about, you know, we're asking what hidden fears are ready to be released. And I do feel like, especially on this topic of love, this is an endless journey as, you know, as a human being. We are working through layers and layers and layers of this. So if you chose this pile and it's resonating with you, this is a message to you that it is time for you to open your heart more, that you've been moving along on a certain level, and that's been great and fine, but now it's time to up level, and it's time, because it's not too late for anything, and it's time to move forward. And you might be afraid of the fact that it's time. It might feel scary, but this is coming up because there's still something you're not looking at. And I think you either do know what it is, or you will know what it is after this reading, and these codes are coming through. And we're going to draw some tarot cards to maybe help get a little clarity around some things too for you. And always in these readings, you know, I'm bringing through the messages that I'm channeling from Spirit, the angels, and the guides. But also, this is an opportunity for you to exercise your own intuition, because this is a collective reading. So, you know, it's like some of what I say, most of what I say, hopefully, most of what I say will resonate with you, but some things won't. And so this is an opportunity to really feel into that and get, you know, an exercise to get more clear for yourself in your own intuitive skills, because really it's just something that you can practice like anything else. That's too many. Whoa, way too many. Okay, we're going to start over. So I'm going to draw some tarot cards from and I thought I would live shuffle the second half of the reading here. So these are from the True North Tarot deck by my friend Leah. She's, her business is Dark Moon Crystals. It'll be linked down below. All of the decks will be linked down below. This is a really cool deck. It's like the cards are kind of like Polaroids, because they're pictures. She took pictures, and then she did artwork. Her and the woman who she created it with did artwork over the pictures. So really beautiful deck and really positive vibe. So what we're going to get messages, a little more clarity on what hidden fears are ready to be released for pile 1. Spirit, please. Thank you. First we got too many. Now we're not getting anything. There we go. We'll take those. Or at least some of those. The Empress. I hope you can see how pretty these cards are. Oh, what's behind that? Page of Pentacles, the Page of Coins. The Ten of Cups. The Chariot. Okay. So, part of what's contributing to these hidden fears is this fear that if you relax into your, how can I put this, your divine sensual nature, like your divine feminine, if you relax into your body and to honoring what feels good and right in your life, if you relax into this energy of satisfaction, completion, wholeness right now, like no matter what your circumstances are, if you can relax into that, you can move forward. But it's exactly what you're afraid to relax into. This is part of what is being mirrored to you right now. Is I think there's this fear of embodying that softer part of yourself, embodying that more receptive part of yourself. There's a fear that you are going to hold on forever and never really get to the place of happiness that you're looking for. And that you're going to have to push and push and push only to end up in a dead end or not moving forward or moving forward in a direction that you didn't mean to go. So there's this fear that you can't, deep within, on some deep level, this might not even be conscious, or you might not be aware of this. There's this fear that you don't have the essential qualities within you to create the happiness and the abundance and manifest, or like basically have the, and also don't have the energy or the will, maybe even the skills to do this. So maybe this isn't a fear that you're aware of all the time. Maybe this is just something that comes up when your comfort zone is being pushed. But that's what I'm kind of feeling and sensing here. The Empress is, for those of you who are familiar with the Tarot, and this is a major arcana card, and I feel like this is like our deep feminine nature. This deep, deep embodiment of life within us, and sustainability and abundance and fertility and beauty, the Venetian energies. And so I think there's this fear that is not something that can be found, embraced, and created and sustained in this life, and that it might, some of you might even feel that it's too late for that, too late to create my dreams and my happiness. I'm just going to hold on to this one thing that I have now. I'm not going to let any more love in. I'm not going to take a risk. But when you go into this reconciliation, when you reconcile these fears inside of yourself, when you allow yourself to reflect, and when you reflect, I'm hearing, see that Empress within you, whether you're male or female, it doesn't matter. It's the divine feminine within us, within all of us. So when you see that part of yourself, merge with that part of yourself. It will help you open your heart, and it'll help you really start to begin to build more love and more happiness and more fulfillment in this life. It'll help bring energy and charge and will and desire to give you the ambition and motivation and the ability to have success in the areas that maybe right now you're afraid that you can't have success in. So yeah, so trust yourself and take the time to reconcile these parts of you. We're going to ask for some advice from more advice from the sacred, what is it called? The Sacred Forest Oracle by Denise Lynn. So this is advice for these fears. These are some really, I really want you to know I really am sending you so much love right now. This is some really intense fears, and I also feel like you have worked through this a lot already. Like there's a lot of levels of this that you've already accomplished, but you're being called to really up level, take it to the next step, because it's time and you're ready. And that's why I made that a focus of the readings today, is like the fears you're ready to release. We don't need to hear about the fears we're not ready to release, because that's not really helping us to a certain degree. But what hidden fears do we have that, because a lot of times things are hidden from us. We get caught up in our daily lives. You know how this goes. And we lose track of what's going on deep within. I love the red in this card. From the first time I looked at it, I've been feeling really drawn to the red. And yeah, I think red, red for love, which is sweet, but also I feel like it has something to do with, especially with the Empress card being here, there's this fear of connecting to the earth more. There's this fear of connecting to your body more and accepting life more, connecting to life more in a way. But I feel like the root chakra could use a little attention, and that will help this Empress energy and help accelerate or ignite this Page of Coins, start this energy of create more creation, whatever's coming through that wants to be reconciled and created. And of course, for those of you who know the Ten of Cups, I don't know if you can see the rainbow in there. There's a rainbow on the side, so it's like such a promise of happiness. And I think that, deep in your heart, you're afraid that that's not really coming, or that's not really possible, or something that you are creating right now, you're afraid that it's not really possible. So let's see what advice wants to come from the Sacred Forest deck. Okay. Really beautiful. Butterfly spirit, transformation. And then Phoenix. Oh wow, transmutation. Pretty much the same thing, only different. And there's that fire again. It reminds me of, well, it does say the Phoenix. So and there's a butterfly here with the mirror guardian with the water. Well, she's looking in the mirror, but that card feels very watery to me. And air. Because of the universe here. The solar system. Galaxies. And this one's very airy as well, but the shell, reminding me of water, of course. Number 8 and number 29. So you're really in a phase of huge transformation and transmutation. So not only are you transforming on the outside, you know, like the butterfly here, that, sorry, the butterfly that is going through the actual physical stages of transformation. And it reminds me of crystalline, you know, the crystalline frequencies and the crystalline energies. And I feel like that is what's happening here, is that your heart chakra is starting to transform and transmute into more of the crystalline energies, more the embodiment of more cosmic love. And it's scary. It's scary to transform. And this card's right over this one that I said I was seeing fire in. And so there is this energy of holy fire. And again, that can also be scary because we know it's burning away things that aren't always within our control, and we're afraid we're going to lose this happiness that we have. But you're not. You're continuing to up level in your life. Your happiness is coming with you, even if for a short period it seems like things are leaving and burning. You are continuing to move forward on your destined path. You are continuing, you will be victorious as you continue to surrender to this energy. Transformation and transmutation, that is unbelievable, you guys. And this is the alchemical, you know, the magic. It's the magician. It's really manifesting your life. And you do this through the transformation of the things that are in the way. You're transforming things by reconciling them. This is how you're alchemizing, and this is how you are opening your heart chakra more. So beautiful. And so we're going to get one more advice card from the White Light Oracle deck by Alana Fairchild. And I'm definitely going to read from the deck, because I'm not that familiar with these cards, and they're not very self-explanatory, and they're very deep, like the Rumi deck she created, like probably like all her decks. I don't have all her decks, but this is the back of the cards, which I absolutely love. And for those of you who know me, you know that I love wolves, and that wolf is I consider to be basically my center animal, even though I love the cats too, but wolves are special to me, and I love this deck. I love that that's the back of those cards. So we're gonna ask Spirit for one card to give us advice for this whole reading, to help you release and move forward. And these are some big fears. These aren't like this is the fear of letting more love in. I mean, I would say that's a primal fear even. So I did pre-shuffle all of these cards to save some time. So we'll just see what wants to come out for you. So pile one, please, Spirit, one card. There we go. Thank you. So we have Archon Barbello. These images are so powerful. So I think you see what I mean by there's a depth of meaning here. It's number 10, so you are in a portal, which these two cards very much illuminate. There is a ending happening, and I'm hearing there is a sacred ending happening and a sacred beginning occurring. Number 10, the portal. Number 1 and number 0, new beginnings and endings. So let's see what the book has to say. Your biology and gender are creative and powerful means for you to express your soul path. Sometimes you may feel limited by gender constraints or stereotypes, but your spirit can never be restricted or controlled. Embrace the journey of what it feels like to be you in your own body. There is much benefit and healing to be gained through an embrace of your life journey, including the deeper experience of the absolute freedom of your spirit. Wow, and I feel like that's already really relevant to this fear of the Empress, the fear of being in your body, and the transformation of spirit with both the phoenix and the butterfly. Archon Barbello is an angel, goddess, divine mother, and sacred space. She is mysterious and powerful. She is the inviolable purity and truth of your being. The spiritual essence within you that is eternal and cannot be tainted or distorted. Her presence in a reading is a sign that any errors in judgment shall be corrected and any losses shall be restored. If you have been off your path or become disconnected from your real self, she is the innate understanding and power within your heart that pulls you back into authentic connection and true direction. Archon Barbello teaches the soul the mystery of how we can be in a male or female body and yet have characteristics of both the masculine and feminine within us. She also helps us understand how our androgynous spiritual essence can embrace masculine and feminine energies to accomplish its higher purpose. This spiritual essence is beyond gender and is not altered by it in any way. When a connection to the androgyny of the spirit is experienced authentically, there is no rejection of the biology of the body, nor the gender-based experiences that the soul has chosen to fulfill its spiritual mission. We can enjoy our inner masculine and feminine energies and engage with them to co-create, celebrate, grow spiritually, and heal our soul. Every soul has a unique path, and yet every soul is here to find the way home to divine love and inner truth. The feminine energies in every soul empower our ability to embrace what is and find compassion. This allows for the mercy, forgiveness, and wisdom that start with what is and hold space for evolution into what can be. The masculine energies in every soul encourage exploration, development, and inquiry, stimulating us to question everything, which can lead to discernment and higher understanding and keep us strong. This ensures that negativities are banished from our personal space before they can undermine our personal healing and spiritual progress. Archon Barbello helps us fully experience the masculine and feminine principles as creative, interesting, and powerful methods of expression rather than definitions of who we are. The value of the body, of gender, and biology as ways for the soul to experience and express itself is complemented by the freedom that comes with understanding the spiritual part of you is entirely free from constraints of any kind or constructs of any kind. You can retreat to this sacred, pure, untouched place within when you need to replenish your reserves of wisdom and willpower for your life journey. Connecting with this part of you can remind you that whilst your life journey and your experiences are important and help you to grow, they do not determine who and what you are. You exist in the realm of Archon Barbello, the pure light of divine presence. Your spirit is always nestled beneath her radiant wings. Yet to shine that light in the world where it is most needed requires you to have a soul journey as a human being, in a physical body with biology and gender. If you have any concerns about this or wish to bring healing to those who have such concerns, this oracle brings encouragement. Ask for help and healing from Divine Spirit that all souls find truth in their journey, blessed with mercy, wisdom, grace, and compassion. The healing process suggested here is to connect consciously to your breath as it flows in and out. Become fully present in this moment. When you are ready, rest your hands in prayer against your heart. Sense your feminine energies in your left hand and your masculine energies in your right hand. Feel them intermingling. They are different from each other, yet equally powerful and important. With your hands lightly pressing together, expand your awareness to include your heart. Feel the contact of your hands against your chest. Your heart is the third awareness, the sense of yourself as a pure, loving, spiritual being. Sacred masculine, sacred feminine, divine spirit. Allowing yourself to recognize the sacred triune nature of your soul can bring a healing bliss. When you are ready, relax your hands and say the following invocation out loud. I call upon the luminous wisdom, grace, and love of our spiritual mother and spiritual father, united in the light of Archon Babelo. I accept the gift of this body, mind, and soul. For the spiritual benefit of all beings, I ask for healing, protection, and guidance. May all beings recognize their true spiritual nature and find happiness and freedom through their authentic spiritual journey. Now give your body some love, self-hug, rest, ground, hydrate. You've completed your healing process. Wow. Powerful message there, and probably very specific for some of you. But you know, I felt like as I was reading that, I was being reminded also of the Shiva Shakti energy. For those of you who are familiar with that, you know, the awakening of higher consciousness is when these two energies come together into oneness, and that's pretty much what this card is talking about. And so that is the place when we balance, when we reconcile these parts of ourselves that appear to be polarized or appear to be different, then we transform and we transmute, and we come into this higher presence, this higher love, and this higher understanding of our life, and we are able to embody our life in a better way, and we will be able to find the willpower. So I feel like this card, the Chariot, is also representing this fear that you won't have the strength, that your heart can't hold it. But it can, and you're doing it, and I'm feeling so much love and support coming through this reading for you. That you are on your way, and you are being held and loved and guided in every moment. So thank you so much, Pile 1. It was an honor to read for you. Love and blessings to you. If this reading resonated with you, please like it and comment down below if you would like to share your thoughts or experiences. Please subscribe if you're not already subscribed and you would like to receive notifications. Hit the notification bell. I think you all know what to do. Thank you so much again. Love and blessings to you. Hello, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading. So you have chosen the pile with the serpentine tumbled stone. So what hidden fears are ready to be released? The Traveler, moving in a new direction. This is the Angels and Ancestors Oracle deck by Kyle Gray. High Priest, intend and create. All of the decks I use today will be listed in the description box below as usual. And then from the Shaman's Oracle deck we have Many Masks, the Authentic Self. And from the wisdom of the oracle, we have regeneration. I haven't looked at these ahead of time, by the way, so I'm just now seeing these too. Let's scoot this over a little. So the fears, the hidden fears, and you might be conscious of these fears as well, or slightly conscious, but if this is coming up, and if it's coming up in the reading, then there's a hidden level, and Spirit's really wanting to call your attention to these fears. So you're afraid to move in a new direction. You're afraid to create this new direction. You're afraid to set your intentions because you know that you have the power to create whatever it is that you want in this life. I feel like maybe that many of you who are watching this pile, who are drawn to this reading, are strong manifestors. I feel as I open up into a reading, I get a general sense. There's a sense, is very different energy that was coming through from pile one. This is a very powerful energy. Like I feel a very grounded, powerful energy, very spiritual, but you know, a lot like what I feel from this high priest. It's like grounded, magical energy. Like you know you have the power to create things in your life. Like whether you have been really utilizing this skill or not, I don't know. But I think this is another hidden thing, you know, like if you don't know or if you're unsure if you have this, then I feel like this is confirmation from Spirit that you absolutely do have the power, a very strong gift for manifestation. And yes, some people do have a stronger ability to manifest than others. It's just depends on your energy field, your karma, whatever your soul came to do in this life. So that is a real thing. And I sense from this reading already that this is something that you are afraid of in yourself. And I believe that's a legitimate fear because, you know, maybe you have experienced creating a lot of things in your life that you didn't want to create. And so now you're afraid of like, oh, should I call that to me? Should I really manifest this? Because should I take that new direction? Should I create this new experience? Should I set this intention because it's blown up in my face before? Or maybe, you know, sometimes we resist things even when it is for our highest good, even when it's going to bring us our dreams come true, our greatest joys, everything. There's a part of us often, especially if we have had a lot of trauma in our past, and things like that can affect us in a way that we're actually really afraid of our ability to create our dreams to come true, or the most powerful life that we can create. So this is a very common and natural hidden fear, and I feel like this is something that Spirit's calling out to you, that this is operating on a pretty deep level inside of you right now, and it's something that you're being guided to look at because it must be kind of in the way of whatever it is that is next for you, or you're wanting to create next. So I'm sensing you're afraid to move in a new direction, to create this new thing. And then we have the many masks, the authentic self from the Shaman's Oracle deck. So you're also afraid of being really real and what that might create, what direction that might create in your life. In fact, you know that taking off the masks, allowing yourself to be more vulnerable in your truth and more vulnerable in your feelings, in your expression, more vulnerable about and truthful and honest with yourself about what you do want to create and what direction you do want to take, you know that this is going to lead to regeneration. Sorry about the glare. You know it's going to lead to regeneration. What number is this out of curiosity? Yeah, of course, 10. So this is number 10, signifying endings and new beginnings. The 1 and the 0. This is a portal, and you know that being authentic is going to take you through this. This is also reminding me of the Tower card in the Tarot of, you know, everything burning away, falling apart in a big way in your life, the things that don't serve you. And this has actually been, you know, that's been kind of a collective theme, global collective theme. So, you know, this is a very personal fear for you. But it's interesting that, you know, a lot of times our hopes and our fears are the same thing, and this is regeneration. So I also think that that's a hope, and I also think it's an outcome. I feel like you know that, and that's exactly what you're afraid of. You know that if you take these authentic steps in a new direction, if you authentically create and intend for your life, that you will be regenerated. There will be a rebirth and renewal. Oh, that's what I was thinking. Not just the Tower card. It reminds me, of course, of the death, right? Death and rebirth, a portal, endings and beginnings. It's so much more. I was seeing the fire. I was thinking of the Tower. I think it's both to me. I'm seeing both. This like fear of everything falling apart, everything changing, and this fear of death and rebirth. And it's your authenticity that you're afraid of because you know that's going to bring it. So let's see what the Tarot will clarify for us in these energies of what your hidden fears. I'm drawing from, these have been pre-shuffled for your pile, by the way. I'm drawing from the Hidden North Tarot deck, created by my friend Leah at Dark Moon Crystals. This deck is really cute. It's like, as you can see, kind of like Polaroids, and they are all pictures that have been adapted with artwork. Very, very pretty. So I'm just going to give it a couple more shuffles. It has a very light energy to it too, very different than a lot of tarot decks I've used, actually. It has a really different energy, in a good way, in a very good way. So let's see if we can get some more information about this. For pile 2, hidden fears. Ooh. Being told to take these. Yeah, the 5 of Pentacles. The 5 of Pentacles, the 9 of Pentacles, and the Hierophant. Interesting that the Hierophant is going under the High Priest. Kind of a running theme here. Fear of this higher aspect of yourself. Fear of your ability to create something really powerful, or create yourself into some, you know, this powerful aspect of yourself. One more, please, Spirit. Just one more. It's hard to get just one from this deck. I think this one. All right. So, oh boy, the Lovers. I love that. And weren't we just, oh no, that was the other reading. In pile 1, we were talking about Shiva and Shakti and the balance, which of course the balancing of the masculine and feminine is a collective global theme right now as well. So we are going to see that show up in these readings over and over again. It was kind of a theme at the end of the last reading. So, but your fear is, yeah, let me look at this a minute. You're afraid to make a decision. This new direction is crucial. And for some of you, it is about love, romantic love. And for some of you, it is about marriage. So if that resonates with you, or not, if it's not marriage, like a deeper commitment, like a a solid long-term commitment. So for some of you, that's the new direction you are wondering if you should go in. And there's this independence that you fear. You're afraid of losing your independence. So I'm just going to go with I'm feeling a couple different things here. So I'm going to just go with, if you just bear with me, if this doesn't resonate with you, I'm going to change. I'm going to give you the other streams that I'm feeling after this. So for those of you where this is a romantic situation, you're afraid to move in this. You're making a huge decision right now about which direction to go, whether to find more independence or move into deeper commitment, or both. So there's this fear that in this commitment you're going to lose your authenticity and your independence. Maybe this is something that you've created in the past and you don't want that to happen again, because here under regeneration there is this lack, this 5 of coins, this fear of scarcity, lack consciousness, afraid of losing things. So there is this fear of losing yourself in this new direction. So we'll see what comes through with the advice cards, but I'm really sensing that it really is. So this is one of those occasions when I was saying in pile 1, I think, that what I love about offering collective readings is that this gives you, the viewer, the receiver of this energy, the opportunity to discern and use your own intuition and fine-tune your own intuition through this, because this is a general reading for many people, so there are definitely different scenarios coming through here, but specific too. So please take what resonates for you and with you. So for some of you, this direction is leaving this relationship because, and you're very afraid of this. You're afraid of this independence. You're afraid of this authentic path. You're afraid of this death and this fear that if you let go of this person or this relationship, if you decide no, that you're afraid that you will regret it, essentially, of course, right? And so then the other thing, I actually feel like for more of you, there's a fear of making a deeper commitment in a relationship. There's a decision to make a deeper commitment and a stronger intention, and a very spiritual intention, that's what I mean by, it's even potentially marriage for some of you, or engagement. So, you know, for those of you that you're worried about losing your independence and you're afraid that your authentic self might be rejected, you know, that if you make this decision to move in this direction, that, you know, you might not be fully accepted. And so of course there's those fears, right? This fear of not having enough or not being enough for this person. So that's something I really feel is important to get in check with yourself before you move forward in making this decision either way. Just get really clear on what it is that you feel, like your own self-worth, essentially, with this regeneration and this 5 of coins being next to each other. It's like before you make this decision to move in any direction or create any intention, make sure that you're reminding yourself and you're filling yourself up within, and you're reminding yourself that no matter what you choose, you are always whole and complete and full, that you are not lacking. Like if you have this person or don't have this person in your life, that you are the 9 of Pentacles either way, that you are free and, free, the birds are flying, and prosperous, and independent, successful, happy, all of that. You have all of that. In your authenticity, you have everything you need. But obviously, if this person is, you know, guided or karmically, I keep wanting to say ordained, so I really do think there is marriage for some of you. So if this is meant to be, you know, it's going to serve your abundance, your wholeness, either way. Whether you're meant to leave it or whether you're meant to go deeper into it, either way, you are complete and whole within this decision. So that's what you're most afraid of. Hope that made sense. I know that was a few different directions. And so for those of you, thank you for being patient. For those of you who it's not about romantic love, or maybe it's about romantic love and something else, essentially it's the same idea of like you are making a huge decision. With the Lovers here, you know, this is a major arcana card, and this is a decision about your, you know, your basically like life force. You know, this is your connection to life force. And you know, so what really makes you happy? The lover within, right? The beloved, the divine within is what I'm thinking of when I'm thinking of this is more general and not so specific to romantic love. So this is about making a deeper commitment to your spiritual path and to manifesting. So this is what the fears are involved in. You're afraid of going deeper on this path. You're afraid that you're not good enough. You're afraid that if you are authentic, that everyone's going to find out that you're lacking what is really required to be this person, to create this life, this regeneration, this amazing. And I'm not going to take the time to read it right now, but I've read the meaning of this card enough that it is a powerful rebirth. It is so abundant and successful. So in a way, that's what you're afraid of. And you're also afraid, of course, that it's not going to happen. So all of that is operating. Those are the hidden fears, and those are not simple fears, of course. These are some really deep and powerful. Deep and powerful primal fears that, of course, we all experience to a certain degree, but this is specific to you, and especially since you do have such a strong manifesting power. So we're going to get some advice and guidance from the, first from the Sacred Forest Oracle. This is the back of those cards with the Pegasus on there. And these are by Denise Lynn. So we're asking for some advice about these things that we're afraid of. Mostly it seems like about making decisions and manifesting, like we were saying, and being authentic and what that means, what the price, like, am I enough? If I am authentic, I can't even talk, sorry. If I am authentically myself, will I be enough? That is one of the main hidden fears. Trying to get in one more card. Let's see what came out so far. Maybe we can talk about it. Oh yes, one of my favorite cards. Eagle Spirit, Freedom. Freedom. Oh, and there's a little Pegasus down in the corner. I don't know if you can see. Number 13. There's a reminder here from Spirit that you do have free choice. You have the freedom to not choose yourself or choose yourself. And then this card came out, the Spirit Guardian of Autumn, letting go. Number 35. There's definitely a freedom in letting go. I feel like I want to get one more. I think pile one only got 2, but I feel like one more wants to come out. Oh boy, okay. So something wants to come out, but that is not it. when they all jump out like that, I know there's definitely something that wants to come through. Just one, please, Spirit. Just one more card to clarify the advice here. Okay, maybe two more. I'm not going to argue with it because it just feels right. So, we've got freedom, the spirit guardian of autumn, which we're in autumn, well, at least in the northern hemisphere, so it's a good time for letting go, the fall. And then flexibility, willow spirit. And grace. This is one of my favorite cards in this deck. Wise woman of the grove. So I believe there is a freedom here in letting go of control. Be flexible with yourself and whatever situation this is, and trust that there's grace involved. Grace is at play. You will not be shown that you are not worthy. I think that is one of the greatest fears that's coming through in this reading, is this fear of not being good enough. Fear of revealing your true self only to receive the confirmation from the universe that, yes, you are not good enough. So that is a very deep fear, and that's part of what's behind the difficulty in making a decision and difficulty in manifesting, is because there is this deep fear that it won't be good enough, that you are fundamentally, essentially, at the core of your being, not good enough. And so I hope you can feel Spirit sending you, your guides and angels are sending you so much love and healing for that right now, that this consciousness can shift within you so that you can let go and be more flexible with yourself, your expectations of not only yourself and others, but also of the world, and the process of grace and regeneration. It doesn't always look or feel like we want it to. So being flexible, letting go of expectations. The eagle is always a symbol to me of great spirit, of the higher self, of the highest frequency of love operating. So I feel like there's guidance also coming through saying that when you are in your heart space, when you are coming from this place of love, and love of self too, and that's one of the things that can really help you move through your fears, is just loving yourself so deeply, like you would a friend. You know, your friend's afraid of making a fool of themselves or making a wrong decision, and so, you know, you love that friend, and you're like, no, you're not a fool, you know, even if it doesn't go the way you thought it was going to go, or, you know, whatever, or even if it turns out to be better than you can ever expect, you are wonderful. You are an amazing being, and you are making a decision, and when it's from a high spiritual place, it is guided by the grace of spirit. It is guided by the grace of source, God, universe, great spirit, however you refer to the higher power. So I want to read from Denise Linn's book. This is The Sacred Forest, like I said, because I'm getting the message to read the Eagle Spirit card. Eagle Spirit invites you onto her back, and you dwindle in size so that you can climb on. You hold on to the down beneath her feathers as she soars higher and higher. The forest looks smaller and smaller, yet you can see so clearly as you ascend above the clouds. You have never felt so free. So I also feel this is a message to let go of control, or let go of feeling like you have to control things, like this flexibility coming in, and have this bird's eye view, this eagle spirit. The eagle flies higher, I think, than just about any bird. I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't quote me, but I know that the eagles fly higher than most birds. So it's about getting that high perspective, that higher view of things, out from when you're in this place of lack consciousness, you are definitely not in a big picture viewpoint. So this is another key for guidance for you to move through these fears, is to stay in that big picture frame of mind and remain flexible and let go and allow grace to work through you, and trust yourself that there is that regeneration. Through this regeneration, you are going to be better and freer, and this grace is with you. So like I said, I do feel like there's this deep fear, the core fear behind all of this is that you're not good enough, that you're not enough. And of course, that is absolutely 110% not true. And if you feel like, oh no, but you should see this in my life or that in my life or whatever, then you have the free will, you have the freedom, you have the power, the freedom, the flexibility, the grace. And especially you, I can feel your manifesting power. You have the power to change anything you want in your life. You have the spiritual strength and stability. You can do it. So I'm not very good at taking excuses for why people can't do things, myself included. So I love this reading and the theme of this reading too, of like the hidden fears, because it helps to have, a light shined on what it is that we need to be paying attention to, because there are so many things and we receive so much stimulation and so much information every day. So as a final card, I'm going to draw for advice for you from the White Light Oracle deck. This is by Alana Fairchild. She creates deep, wonderful, inspiring decks. This is the back of the cards, which I'm totally in love with. I want this painting on my wall. I love wolves, and the wolf is symbolic of the teacher. So think of these cards as spiritual teachers, guidance, I should say. So we're going to pull one card, please, Spirit, according to the highest good, to sum up the advice for the fear, the core fear here in this reading, or whatever's for the highest good, please, for pile 2. Thank you all for being here. I really appreciate you, and if this reading's resonating with you, please like it, and feel free to comment below and share your experiences. Thank you for subscribing, and if you haven't already subscribed and you would like to, please do hit the notification bell if you would like to receive notice of when I have released a new video. Okay, one card, please, Spirit. I really wanted to jump out. I could have grabbed a couple, but I'm trying to get it to just jump out. There we go. Beatitude of Sacred Rapture. Number 29. Beatitude of Sacred Rapture. Yeah, and this one came out too, and just because of the messages that have already come out in the reading, I didn't want to grab 2 because I'm going to read at least one from the book, but this one is Magnetism of Eros, and seemed relevant, especially for those of you who resonated with the message about romantic love. So let's see and this is number 1. So for those of you who didn't manifest with that, this is about creation. The creation energy, manifestation energy. So again, another manifesting energy coming through this reading. I'm going to read from the book because, like I said, these are really beautiful messages. Very inspiring, and I think will put a nice closure to the messages that have come in through here so far. Nice integration. So number 29, Beatitude of Sacred Rapture. Oh, perfect already. I love the way it works. I'm sorry. No matter how many times it happens, I love it. Okay. So let your true self be seen. Search for the deeper spiritual purpose and opportunity for healing beneath conflict and suffering. If you have been in pain, this oracle brings a message of a joyful breakthrough. Your soul is growing stronger, more able to have faith in wisdom than in judgment or doubt. This is exactly everything we were talking about. This is so great. Commit to your spiritual path and know you are making progress, even if things seem more difficult for a time. Know that any such difficulty is part of your healing and that you will successfully move through it. Trust yourself. To feel that you are fully seen, loved, and recognized for who you are honors your true self. To be witnessed in such a state, truly beheld in all of your uniqueness, quirkiness, vulnerability, and strength is deeply empowering. This is how Spirit sees you, so when you connect with Spirit, you learn to love yourself and others unconditionally and become generous with your forgiveness. You are also less likely to be hoodwinked by ego. You start to see yourself and others at the soul level. So honoring your true self, they're talking about authenticity again. When you are beheld, the need to behold arises. We need to bear witness to the sacred, to acknowledge what is true, which means cutting through the fog of illusion, deception, and confusion with the clarifying knife of higher perception. There is quantum power in pure vision. It empowers the viewer and also that which is viewed. Seeing from a position of inner spiritual truth, we look below the surface, which has alchemical potency to set healing in motion. What vision of yourself or others do you either cling to or free yourself from? How might your choice either encourage or impede soul awakening? When life is tough, you can admire the courage it takes to grow. There is a compliment inherent in being allotted life challenges. If something big has shown up on someone's path, then the universe is basically saying that they are enough of a spiritual badass to deal with it. It's a vote of divine confidence. If you or another are battling something, you can choose to feel awe and respect rather than fear and despair. Rapture is a state of intensely pleasurable joy that lifts one into communion with the sublime and the sacred. It is not only a personal experience, but also a transfusion of divine delight into the collective soul of humanity. This is the kind of joy that is generous, soulful, without reason or agenda, and delightfully contagious. It is a wake-up call. It shifts any stubborn clinging on to negativity. It refreshes the soul and nourishes the heart. It reminds us that everything is okay. Rapture is the astonishment, this sudden intake of breath in response to an inner realization of something beautiful and beyond description. It tears us out of our misery and despair and plugs us into an electrical current of enlightenment. The darkness is cleared in an instant. A beatitude is a blessing, the highest blessing. The oracle of beatitude of sacred rapture brings guidance that the beautiful healing truth of spirit is your reality. All else is a nightmarish misuse of imagination by the ego. When you sense spirit at work in your life, totally trustworthy and having your back, you are seeing clearly. When your hopeful heart feels empowered, you are in a zone of truth. Trust in those moments. Recall them whenever you can. Count all your positive moments and wins, no matter how inconsequential they may appear. Every one of them is a precious drop of divine nectar nourishing your heart. Allow yourself to see and be seen. And remember that even in the tremors, trials, and tribulations of human life, you are a radiant soul who is growing ever more luminous through the wisdom, compassion, and strength distilled through those experiences. Look for the light beneath all phenomenon, and you shall know the peace and love that is with all beings always. Wow. Yes. It's like I really don't know what to say beyond that. This is really a confirmation of trusting your authenticity, being the true you, loving the true you, knowing that this is what magnetizes love into your life, love on all levels, love on whatever level it is that you are looking for. And I felt like in that description there was a lot of reference to grace as well as this strength and this freedom. So know that you are being blessed, that everything that you are experiencing is adding to your spiritual strength, the Hierophant, your spiritual strength and stability. And remembering that your authentic self, the true you, is not worthy of lack, but is worthy of grace and love. And that this blessing that is coming through for you is understanding on a deeper level that you have the power to not only manifest all of this that we were talking about and more, but to manifest love in your life in exactly the way you want it to look like. Don't allow any doubt to come in or any fear to consume you. Know beyond a shadow of a doubt that you are a magnet for exactly what it is that you desire. That's the final message I'm hearing for you for this reading, Pile 2. Thank you so much for being here. I hope these messages were helpful for you. I'm sending you so much love. Hello, Group 3. Welcome to your reading. You chose the Aqua Aura Quartz. We are looking into what hidden fears you're ready to release. We're starting with the what is it called? Angels and Ancestors deck by Kyle Gray. So the first card that you received is Winter. Take care of your needs. With a wolf spirit on there. And Mountains. Stand your ground. Those two cards seem to resonate well together. Oh, and you, actually, the other two piles got two cards out of this deck, but a third one really wanted to come out in here, so we'll see what we got. The Shield Maiden. Make plans and focus. Okay, so right away, of course, I'm feeling there's this, maybe some hidden fears around taking care of yourself. I mean, take care of your needs. That's pretty self-explanatory. But I do feel like there is a fear that you just literally won't have the focus, the strength, the intellect maybe even to put the plans together properly, or the awareness of how to create these plans. There is a fear of standing your ground, being in your power, speaking your truth. And from the shamans, that's what I have so far. I mean, we're going to get much more into it. But from the shaman's oracle, or shaman's dream oracle, we have, the farther gate, bold step forward. This is actually one of my favorite cards in this deck. And from the wisdom of the oracle, you received here and now. Number 55 might be significant to you, that angel number. For me, it is right away representing change, angelically guided change. And 10, it adds up to the number 10, which is endings and new beginnings, and a portal. And it's on this card, it does look like a portal of light there, like a doorway, a gateway, a portal. And it says, make a bold step forward. So this is pretty clear message that this is and this might not be a hidden fear. It might just be that I'm hearing that it's a submerged fear. Like the way this mountain is. You see how you can see part of it is up above the earth, and then part is this reflection, or could even be perceived to be underneath. This mirroring, there's a lot of messages in this card. So, standing your ground and making a bold step forward is exactly what you're afraid of, is what Spirit's saying. You are, I think the underlying fear behind it all is this fear that you will not be able to provide for yourself, essentially, that you don't have the strength, and that you don't have the presence, that what is here and now, right in front of you right now, isn't enough, perhaps. This feeling that it can't be done, that you cannot find focus, you can't, in the here and now, you somehow can't find what you need. These are the fears. So I'm feeling that what I was going to say before about this card, sorry, the process of channeling is not linear. As many of you know who do this or experience this. So you're afraid to see, there's a part of this hidden fear that the reason it's a hidden fear and the reason you were drawn to this pile, if this resonates with you, is because you do know about this on some level. And so you do know what the bold step forward is about. And I feel like you're getting kind of stuck in the here and now. That's part of the fear too, that you're going to be stuck here forever. Like in this card, there's the, what does that say? Yeah, that's what I thought. So there's the past. One of the signs is pointing to the past, and one of the signs is pointing to the future. And there's an egg here, with another doorway. She's hanging in the center. She's in the present, which is great. But I think there's a fear here that you're going to remain in the present, that you don't have the plans or the focus or what you need to go forward. And part of you is aware of this fear. But the reason that you are drawn to this reading, I'm hearing, is because there is an aspect of this pattern that is really deep, that you can't see, that's under the surface. So I'm excited and I'm hoping that through this reading you will get some insight, that Spirit will be able to bring some insight for you as to what is underneath here so that you can see it. It is a direct reflection of what you are seeing on the outside, but it is operating from underneath where you can't see it. And so it's time to make a bold step forward, and so that you don't get stuck in the here and now, so that you don't feel stuck in the here and now. This is what you're afraid of. That you won't ever have or be able to provide the things in your life that you need, and that you won't have the courage, that you won't have the illumination, and that you will just exist in this place of limbo. So that's what I'm hearing are the hidden fears. At least initially with these oracle card messages. It feels really intense, and so just let you know what I'm feeling coming in as I'm opening up into this reading is I'm feeling a very, you know, and please not in a negative way, not in a take it personal kind of way. I'm just describing the energy that I think you might be sitting in. So let me know if this resonates with you. But it's like this heaviness. There's this heaviness. There's a strength and a groundedness and actually a lot of masculine energy. So whether you are, even though this is a shield maiden, she's got this warrior energy. And so, you know, whether you are masculine or feminine, or whether you are male or female, I should say, however you orient, doesn't really matter. That's not the point. We all have masculine and feminine energy within us. So I'm feeling a lot of masculine focus, masculine energy, yet there is this fear of focus. So there's a little bit of resonance with pile 2 of, you know, it's like, I feel like this, a lot of times fears do go both ways. And I feel like there's this fear here of not being able to provide for yourself, create the needs and stand your ground and, you know, create the life you want to create. But I also feel that there's a fear here that you will be able to do that. And so pile 2 was a lot about being afraid of your manifesting power, being afraid of taking these bold steps because you know that you're going to be able to focus and create. So you're afraid you're going to get stuck here, but really, you know, this fear is holding you back. This fear of stepping forward. So we're going to look at the tarot so we can get a little more information on the energies that we see here. And I'm sorry this one's a little off, but like I said, you guys did get an extra card. And I'm using the True North Tarot deck, which is created by my friend Leah at Dark Moon Crystals. She's a photographer, and these pictures, these are all photos with artwork on them as well, and they're really light and beautiful cards, very unique. I like working with them. They're a little different energy than a lot of the tarot decks I have. So we're asking for pile 3. I already pre-shuffled these, but I'm just doing one here. For more information around these hidden fears. This seems, again, we're talking about a very deep unconscious fear. We're talking about something that you know about and things around it that you don't know about, but it's all stuff that you're ready to release, because that is the intention of this reading, is what hidden fears are you ready to release? We all have I don't know, I imagine, I'm not factually aware, but my intuition tells me we have nearly an infinite amount of hidden fears. So we're asking about which hidden fears are ready to be released right now, or else we could be here forever talking about this. Oh, and perfect. The first card that comes out is the Moon. And the moon is a major arcana card, and it can talk about, that is one of the meanings of it, is our deep subconscious fears, our deep deep underlying fears. When the Empress, she came out in pile 1 as well, the Empress. And the Three of Wands. The Knight of Cups. And the Ace of Cups, which I'm going to go ahead and take the last one, even though it's interesting. I'm trying to clarify these, but then the Nine of Swords came out, and I feel like that's relevant, so I'm keeping it. So you're afraid if you don't stand your ground, you'll be waiting forever. That'll always just be a dream. That once again, you'll be stuck here and now, which is, you know, okay, this card and other readings and other meanings can mean something very positive about the present, but I'm even seeing the colors differently as I'm looking at it in this reading, because in this reading it's talking about being stuck in limbo and waiting forever. Not really ever being offered true love in your life, whether, you know, in all forms of love. You're afraid if you make this bold step forward and offer your gifts, your desires, your needs, your plans, your dreams. There's a fear that this won't be received. That this gate, I'll just leave it there, this gate won't be opened for you. There's a fear that this offering of love that you send out to the universe, which is essentially what we are doing when we're manifesting, when we're creating and co-creating, it is an offering of love, of our essence to life. And so at a very deep, fundamental level, the unconscious or the submerged, the fear is that this will be rejected by life, that you'll be waiting forever, that you'll be stuck in the here and now forever. And this Nine of Swords is confirming the anxiety around this, that there is a deep anxiety around this that sometimes you are aware of, that sometimes submerges up from your unconscious mind, and you become aware of this anxiety and this feeling of, am I going to be waiting forever? Am I going to be stuck forever in this? Am I ever going to be offered this cup of love and emotional fulfillment in my life? This new start to love, am I ever going to be offered this? If I step forward boldly, will I be refused, rejected by love itself? And that's making me actually want to tear up a little. I mean, the fear is I will be rejected by the very essence of creation, God's source, that my offer of love will somehow fall short. Allow yourself to breathe, because that is a really deep fear we're tapping into, and my heart's aching as I'm feeling it, like really aching. I'm actually kind of even getting a little bit of a stomach ache. So if you breathe into your solar plexus, opening your heart chakra, allowing yourself to feel whatever you need to feel, and release whatever needs to be released around these deep, deep wounding of not feeling like you have what you need, not feeling like you have the fertility and the abundance and the connection to the earth that it requires to make plans, to focus, to stand your ground. So this is a lot first, second, and third chakra energies. The moon in this particular case is just in this particular reading is representing for me just deep emotional fears, unconscious deep fear of basically not being able to sustain it, being rejected by, the deep fear of being rejected by life itself. When I set the intention to do this pick a card reading, I didn't expect all of these. I should have known from the topic that it wasn't going to be all that light. But every pile we have tapped into some very, very, very primal fear. So this is karmic. This is something that you've been working on in layers throughout your life, and you're having an opportunity as these energies, these accelerating high frequency energies that are bombarding the planet are coming through. This is part of the path that you are in, is releasing all these negative thoughts that are weighing you down. I think that's the heaviness I feel. And she even has this sword here too, that there's just this, the thoughts can start to weigh you down, and then the fears start to take over, and this anxiety, and then this feeling of looking out. I'm getting this sense of, with the Three of Wands, of looking out on the horizon, feeling like your luck is out there somewhere, and that you're not sure if you're going to attain it. And stand your ground is in the middle of the reading. So I really do feel like this is a strong first chakra and third chakra, so no wonder my stomach was hurting. It passed, by the way, so I hope that cleared for a lot of you. I'm actually feeling lighter as we're moving into this. So, stand your ground. Don't let people, places, things into your life that don't support your offerings of love. I mean, this has been the pattern. This is the karma. This is why this is a hidden fear that you are ready to release, is because I imagine people in your life have been reflecting that back to you. You offer so much love, and you receive these swords in return. I mean, that's not what this card means, but that's not exactly, but that's what I was feeling like as I'm looking at them. Like you're offering this love, these cups of love, and you do have these shields. There's a guard up here too. There's a fear that if you let that guard down and you step forward through this light, through this gateway, and really trust yourself, there's this fear that, you can't, you're afraid to even really step off the shore because you're not 100% sure that your needs will be met. This is the deep, deep, deep unconscious fear. This offering of love. So like I said, this has probably been reflected in your life because this is what's operating in the unconscious or the subconscious. And anything that's operating beneath the surface, as you know, will then be reflected in your life. So really getting in touch with this fear, like the awareness of this fear, can even maybe help you map a way out of it. There's really, with the Empress being here too, there's this really fundamental fear of not being able to provide for yourself on every level, on every single level of life. And this is going to require a bold step forward, an offering of love to yourself. An offering of love to the universe. I'm hearing also that that's what this bold step forward will be. And to be patient with yourself, because this is only the beginning. You have been cycling through these patterns. You do know about them is what I'm hearing. You know, this part on the surface you know about, but you don't know about the deeper part. You don't know how much, just how much this has been holding you back, just how guarded you have been, and just how stuck you've been waiting on the shore, floating in the air between the past and the present. I'm sorry, floating in the air between the past and the future. Not really fully having the courage to change. We have 555 here. 32, 3 plus 2 is a 5. So finding the courage to change, trusting that your angels are with you, that you are being supported by this light. When you step through, when you offer this love, you will not be refused. And of course, you know that intellectually, but what haunts you in your sleep? What brings you anxiety? What stops you from stepping off of the shore into your dreams is this fear that this love will not be. Will be rejected, essentially. Will be rejected. And I hope you can feel now, as the time that Spirit's telling me, coming through the reading strongly. Healing energy, codes, love. Just so much support for you to know that it's okay to have this deep fear. Because, you know, on your everyday life, you might be like, yeah, I don't know if it's that deep, but it is. And I think you'll know if this resonates with you, that it is deep. And it is, Spirit's telling me, it is holding you back from making this bold step forward and offering more of your love to the world, to all of existence. So I'm going to ask for some advice as we've already gotten some has come through already, but we're going to ask for some advice from the Sacred Forest deck by Denise Lynn. Some advice for this, for pile 3. For these hidden fears, for what we've got so far. Please, Spirit. Advice. Just a couple cards from this deck. Pegasus. Transcending. And that's what's on the back of these cards. Number 28. That's why it called my attention. Another 10. So this is going to, you know, as you move through this hidden fear, it says, you know, this is what came through the reading. This is what you are ready to release. And I'm sure that, so if this is resonating with you, it probably, for some of you, I'm almost feeling like this buzzing inside my body, that it's resonating in a big way. And you are really ready to release it. You're really ready to release at least this layer, you know, and this is a pretty deep layer. And everything's going to move forward from here. And you'll know when this pattern comes back in your life again, you'll recognize it and you'll stand your ground, and you will know that your offering of love is always accepted by the Divine Creator, by life. And if you're in your everyday life, of course, if you are offering love and it is being rejected, that is just information. You don't have to take it personally. Fire, spirit, energy. Number 17, 8. Abundance, infinite energy. Fire, spirit, balance. One more. Maybe some of you are energy workers or do your own form of some sort of energy work or healing work or spiritual work. So bring that energy to this is what I'm hearing. That will help you transcend this pattern, because it is pretty heavy. I mean, like this mountain rock, you know, like it can really get you down, this energy. Of course, my gosh. This, and then with the Nine of Swords being there too, this feeling of you don't, oh, what a perfect card. You don't, you know, feeling like you're offering your love is going to be denied is, yeah, that's intense. And then we have transformation on the back of the deck. So you are transcending this, you are transforming through it. And look, we've got happiness, one of my favorite cards in this deck, the bluebird spirit. For those of you who know me, you know I love the bluebirds. Definitely a spirit animal of mine. So this happiness, look at that beautiful cherry tree, I think, or something. Maybe not. I'm not good at that kind of thing, sorry. Might be a different kind of fruit tree. I think it's a fruit tree. Who knows? Whatever. It's beautiful. The pink tree behind there. And if you know, feel free to comment and put it in the comments below. So happiness. This is your guidance. Use your personal power. See, you know, it says you're afraid to stand your ground. And in this card, also interestingly, I just noticed the flower of life geometry behind there. Can you see that? So you have this creative power. This is stand your ground. Use your energy, your alchemist, your alchemical ability to create and transmute in your life. However you do that, everybody does it their own way. So stand your ground in this and just say, hey, you know what? No more of this thinking. No more of this fear. We are transcending this. We are going to use our imagination. So the moon, we're going to use our imagination to create, to co-create what we want to see. We're going to use our imagination to transcend this pattern, and we're going to use the energy of fire to alchemize. And we are going to trust in our ability to create happiness in our life. So this happiness is here for you, is what I'm hearing. That, you know, it's interesting because all of these cards, if you've noticed, are so dark. Like even this one is, you know, it's got some brighter colors in it, but it even looks kind of cloudy and dark to me. So we have this light shining through here, right, with the bluebird and the Knight of Cups. So your love is your happiness. You can transcend these fears of lack, these fears of not being able to ever be received, for your love to not ever be, for love to not ever be offered in return, basically, from the universe. All of that is going to change for you as you release this story within yourself, as you work with your lower chakras, clearing them, tapping into this Empress energy inside of yourself, which is like, you know, spending time in nature is for me the best way to really connect with the Empress, and water and beauty. You know, it's the Venetian energies. So it's really about the sweetness of life. That will help you transcend these heavier patterns. And that will remind you and ignite the subconscious aspects of the mind that are more connected to happiness and the light. Use this fire within you to burn through anything that just is negative. So that's what I'm hearing a lot too. I just keep feeling this swords energy. I'm so glad this Nine of Swords came out, because it's just kind of a confirmation for me, because I kept feeling it of, you know, your thoughts are really heavy is what I'm hearing right now. So use energy work, meditation, fire of some sort, creativity, whatever you do that really lights you up. So I'm hearing fire, energy, light, lightness, what lights you up. So use what lights you up to transcend these heavier patterns, to get you off the shore, to get you out of the stuck in the middle. Because your happiness is waiting. Your happiness is already here. And when you release yourself from these because it is your imagination, it is the unconscious that creates these patterns. And then it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy in our lives, because our mind really is co-creating, our thoughts really are co-creating with the universe. So really tapping back into this, and I know you know this, but really standing your ground with this, and really using your energy and your ability to transmute and transcend to bring you into this place of happiness. To keep offering, I'm hearing Spirit says, keep offering your cup of love. Keep offering that to the light and stand your ground. And know that if it doesn't look like it right now, it will. Just keep offering it to the right people in the right places, of course, if somebody's, not in integrity or not being good to you. Go a different direction, clearly. But yeah, I feel like that's the advice there for you. And so now, as a final advice card, we're going to pull from the White Light Oracle deck by Alana Fairchild. The messages in here are very profound and deep, and I feel like I would like to get a card from this deck, just one card, ideally, that speaks to this fear and some advice for you as far as what to tap into as far as releasing this fear goes. Okay. Oh, interesting. There it is. Wow, that was fast. Okay, so this is the 7 blessings of Eve. Very Kundalini and the golden egg. Wow. That's a powerful card. And it's number 7. I don't know if I showed you the back of these cards. I just want to show you the back because they're just so beautiful. That wolf. This is one of my favorite decks. I know, you guys are probably like, you have a million favorite decks than I do. But, so we're going to read from the book because these are all of Alana Fairchild's decks that I've gotten so far, very deep and healing and inspirational. So let's see what came through for you as far as guidance for this deep fear. The 7 blessings of Eve. A spiritual gift shall enter your heart and manifest as a blessing in your life. You have innate talents and abilities which will support you. Oh, I'm sorry. You have innate talents and abilities which will support your soul into full glorious manifestation. You have been blessed with a beautiful divine destiny to fulfill. You have natural healing ability. See that fire card? I thought so. Fire spirit. You have natural healing ability. Choose your thoughts and words so they reflect what you truly wish to put out into the world, because your influence is stronger and further reaching than you realize. Eve dwelled in the original paradise, the Garden of Eden. She is the mother of knowledge. From knowledge, wisdom can be developed. Wisdom is the egg of Sophia, the divine feminine power, to be a birth mother of higher consciousness, to bring forth the light of loving awareness. Eve's oracle is not an omen of being cast out of paradise. It is a sign that a false view, which has been holding you captive, is going to give way to a greater understanding which will empower you to be a bearer of the light, a priestess or priest of the egg of Sophia. This oracle encourages you to seek the knowledge you need, to not be held captive by secrets or misinformation, and to know that from that knowledge you shall be able to shed false views, like a snake shedding its skin, and grow in wisdom. You shall know what you need to know and find your way in truth. The oracle also indicates a shift away from shame and confusion, perhaps feeling you have something to prove, or that you are not enough, or that you have to atone for a failing in this or other lifetimes. I just want to interject that is a feeling that I've been feeling. Remember I said I feel this heaviness from the beginning? I feel like for quite a few of you, there is that underlying hidden fear that is ready to be released. This karmic fear is that, that you have something to prove or atone for, that you failed terribly in this and other lifetimes, and that's why you're afraid that you can't take care of yourself. This is coming from ancestral patterns, deep karmic past life stuff. So know that you can release this, and that it's time, that you're ready. If that's what this reading is about, you are ready to release this. Let's see, I'm sorry, I lost my spot. Instead, your soul is moving you toward a realization of the inherent goodness and grace that is your real nature. Yes, beautiful. You are blessed. See, that's when the first three chakras, when the lower chakras are healthy, when you're grounded, you know that you are blessed on this earth. You trust that. You are granted a unique, unrepeatable human life. Even if you believe in reincarnation, acknowledging the soul continues to grow over many lifetimes. There will only be one lifetime when you are this you. If you treasure this life, you will become bolder, taking bold steps forward, more fearless, more willing to step up as your real self, more willing to engage in healing and say yes to what makes your heart sing. There is a rabbinic, sorry if I'm saying that wrong, everyone. There is a rabbinic saying that every time a human being walks down the street, a choir of angels cries, make way, for the image of God is approaching." Loving humanity is not always easy, especially when the darker side of human nature causes such suffering. Yet there is a much heroism, love, kindness, and nobility too. Look to the positive and open your heart to the best in yourself and those around you. Choose to see and nurture the spiritual light in yourself and others to the best of your ability. We are all growing and evolving in our own way. Even those who trouble your heart are doing their best. Acknowledge that humans have limited capacities and deserve compassion and a chance to awaken spiritually nonetheless. Do not, however, allow yourself to become a doormat or anyone's ego game. Entrust the spiritual progress and protection of all beings to the Divine Feminine as you care for yourself and others as consciously as you can. Certain numbers have a sacred significance that crosses religious and cultural boundaries. 7 is one such number with significance in Hinduism, Judaism, Christianity, Islam, Jainism, Buddhism, Baha'u'llah, if I said that wrong, sorry, Baha'u'llah, and the New Age. The spiritual power of 7 includes a natural charisma and capacity to be an influential channel for higher wisdom. The presence of 7 is a sign from the universe to reconnect to the sacred. The oracle of the 7 blessings of Eve is a reminder that you are a sacred being and have no need to hold yourself hostage to shame, blame, guilt, anger, judgment, or fear. Acknowledge your connection to spiritual knowledge. Pray, and your prayers shall be answered. You are transcending this. You are ready to release this fear. Seven to me is also the number of magic, the ability to alchemize, to completely change this fire spirit energy. Also Kundalini energy, transcending, transmuting, bringing you back into a state of wholeness and completeness. You are worthy and you are blessed. I hope these messages were helpful for you. If you enjoyed this reading and it resonated with you, please like it below and feel free to comment if you'd like to share your experience. Thank you so much if you've been here and if you're subscribed. If you would like to subscribe, I'd love for you to join this group, this community, this collective, and hit the notification bell if you would like to be notified when I release a new video. So thank you so much again for being here. It has been an honor to read for you. I'm sending you so much love. See you next time. Blessings.